Alright, round number 2, we're on the draw. This hand has interaction and some ramp. Pretty solid hand. Bomat Courier off of Swamp, huh? Well, regardless, this seems like an aggro deck. Not sure exactly which kind, though. Black-white. Maybe Mardu vehicles with a weird mana situation, or just something new. Who knows? Turn 2, we've got Scrapheap Scrounger. Ooh, that was a good draw, or at least it will be. I think I'm just gonna hit the... Well, it's an interesting question of which one I want to hit. I don't really want to give him more cards with the Bomat Courier, so I think I can afford to hit it. Means I take more damage from the Scrounger, but we are gaining some more life back from the Gift of Paradise next turn. And I don't think I'm going to be dead by like turn 5 or whatever. Could be wrong though. Okay, let's put Gift of Paradise on one of these Oasises. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have played the Forest because now I had to pay the life. I kind of forgot about that. Got oh boy, Hazoret. Hazoret's gonna be hard to beat. Oh, never mind. Kind of forgot that Hour of Devastation is the perfect answer to Hazoret. Red. It's like one of the few cards that can actually deal with it in an efficient manner. So that was pretty fortunate top deck. As long as the rest of his hand isn't too busted, like another Hazoret or something. Ooh, nothing. That's good for me. Alright, let's drop Hour of Promise then. Green. Need to get at least one desert. Let's grab... Scavenger Ground seems prudent, so we can deal with Scrapheap Scroungers later. We could just get like a Rootbound Crag or something to deal with future, just to smooth out our mana. Although our mana's not in too bad a shape here, maybe we just want to grab more deserts. Not sure, I guess I'll get like a Ramanap Ruins. Doesn't matter a ton. Scrounger's gonna come back. And is this gonna be like unlicensed? Yep. So there's one card left. Is it another unlicensed? That would be annoying. Looks like it might be. Yeah. Well, that was a quick turn of events. And Scrounger, okay. So this actually won't work out too poorly, because we can go... He has no cards in hand, so as long as he doesn't top deck something, we can go red, cast 1, 2, 3, then exile all the graveyards, sacrificing this. Not out of the woods yet, but we're in okay shape now. Just need him to not top deck another Hazoret for a couple turns, basically. Here I'm just gonna ramp twice. Green. Cast paying additional 1. Just grab a couple lands out of our deck. Brass's Bounty, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get 8 treasures. I could hold off on it. The only benefit to really waiting is if I were to draw a Sunbird's Invocation, but we do have the Star of Extinction also that we can use to feed it. I think I'll just start firing these off and getting a bunch of mana, so potentially we can set up the one-shot with Cut to Ribbons to finish this game quickly. Cycle. 3/3 attacks each turn if able, sure. It's interesting, not sure what the benefit of playing this over, like, Veteran Motorist is. Treasure map, not a bad draw. Let's go ahead and kill off the raptor. Drop this, excuse me, drop this map. Now we can start scrying, at the very least. Try to find some action. Ruin Raider, we'll have to deal with that. Scry, the bottom. Upkeep. Our Promise can stay. Provides 2 blockers. The only downside is if you manage to draw another Unlicensed Disintegration, but I don't think we'll be able to beat that long term anyway. We're just gonna have to suck it up if he has it. I'll just grab a couple lands. I guess I'll grab 1 desert out of the deal. Pass the turn. Okay, no unlicensed. So this way we don't die to a Hazoret. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can deal 17 damage to him right now. Which is not quite lethal. Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17 mana. Or X is 17 rather. Not quite lethal. Maybe I should have gotten more Ramanap Ruins, because I hadn't considered actually using it. I think here I just want to attack and then use Star of Extinction. We can sneak in an extra 2 points of damage this way. Because I mean, he'll block with Raptor because he has to, but he's not going to block with Ruin Raider. Let's destroy something. Doesn't really matter what. We can cast this Thunderherd Migration. Green, green. So now we should have the mana to kill him next turn, if I did my math correctly. Oh, I also have the treasure map flipping, so that should definitely do it. Actually, maybe I didn't do the math right. Maybe I could have killed him that turn. Okay, Bowmat Courier doesn't kill me. Alright, he's out of cards, so... as long as he doesn't draw a shock off this Bowmat Courier, assuming he's going to do that now. I think we have him. Sakama, sure, that can stay on top. I'm not going to cast it though, just because if he manages to find an unlicense off that, that would be a horrible way to die. Black, black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, he sees it. Cool. Alright, so Hazoret's a problem. Luckily we have the Hour of Devastations. Sweltering Suns and a Braid are great. Arborback Stomper we could consider. Probably need to trim on some of this like Brass's Bounty do nothing stuff. Even though it did look good there, we probably want more cards that can actually win the game, or at least gum up the board when they come down. Chandra's Defeat we can consider, but I don't know how much I love it. Maybe on the draw it's better, because he does have some red creatures, just not the majority. He has like the Raptor, he probably has like Pia and Kieran and maybe Glorybringer or something like that. So let's trim on some of the stuff that doesn't do anything immediately. Trim as a comma. Is this a dinosaur? No. Carnage Tyrant's a dinosaur, which is relevant for the Thunderherd migration. Don't know how much I love Carnage Tyrant in this matchup. It's probably fine. He's also probably playing the Sphinx, or not the Sphinx, the Phoenix, the new Phoenix, the 4/3 for 4 that can rebirth itself, which is pretty good against all my sweepers. So we assume we want to bring these in, maybe Arborback Stomper and or Carnage Tyrant, we can cut like 1 Hour of Promise maybe. Rely not so heavily on the ramp, but still have some elements at the top end. The nice thing about Carnage Tyrant is it can win games on its own. You know, it blocks immediately when it comes down, and it makes it so you don't need to go all the way up to 20 for the cut to ribbons or whatever. Maybe we do this, and we can trim on more like one more Sunbirds and one of these Zakamas. Zakama is kind of a liability when he has unlicensed disintegration, so I don't want to rely too heavy on assuming we're going to get to untap with it. Also not so amazing when we no longer are relying on Sunbird's Invocation. But I think this should be fine. This hand's kind of awkward. I mean, if we draw a green source in the top 3 cards, this hand is very good. So we get to ramp out Gift of Paradise into Hour of Devastation, so I think it's worth keeping for that alone. And we have a good number of green sources, and we have this map that we can play in the meantime. Cut to ribbons, not a bad draw. Duress, that's kind of rude. Not sure what he wants to take here. We have some, I mean, no matter what he does, we're going to get to implement our game plan here. It's just we can't rely on this Hour of Devastation anymore if that's what he wants to take. Or he may just take this cut to ribbons to slow me down. Oh, he takes the treasure map, okay. So he's banking on me not drawing a green source. Ambitious. I'm not going to show him that I found it, of course. I'm going to go ahead and use this cut to ribbons right now. Also not showing him the green source I drew, so he still thinks he might be able to catch me with my pants down. Heart of Kieran. It's pretty big. Let's go ahead and drop this on the plains. Heart of Kieran's annoying because it gets around all of our sorcery speed stuff. We pretty much only have the 2 Abrades that we brought in that can deal with that. Like, we kind of have to use this Hour of Devastation to get rid of his crews, but then any future creature he draws. Sweltering Suns wasn't bad. Might just cash that in here instead. Hold on to this Hour of Devastation for a potential Hazoret follow-up or whatever. Even though he does know about the Hour of Devastation. Is that right? Let's see, if he had a Hazoret, there's a chance he probably would have played Hazoret and just used it to crew, and then next turn it could get in there after playing Raptor, so I don't think he has Hazoret. We have that going for us at least. So maybe it's better to be mana efficient and use this Hour of Devastation. We could potentially cycle this on a future turn. I don't know if that's correct, but I think given that we're so far behind, we need to be as mana efficient as possible and potentially hold on to this cycling value so we can find ourselves the next piece to stabilize this board. No, we get immediately punished. I mean, I thought my rationale was sound there, but apparently not. Cast with additional cost 1. We'll just get a mount. Doesn't really matter. I guess I'll get a mountain. And pass the turn. Now we're in pretty bad shape, unless we find another hour. Even then, it might be too late. It's gonna shoot. Put me to 3. Oh, I forgot to cycle. We'll do that now then. See how punished I would have gotten. Okay. Didn't matter. You're dead. Trying to think through. Like, my logic made sense there, right? Like, if he had Hazard, he could have just played in Crude. But he also knew about the Hour of Devastation from the Duress. So maybe he was just playing around it. I might have just, like, talked myself out of the correct play. I know, you're probably yelling at the screen. I played badly. Made sense at the time, but opponent played well. I'll give him credit. Unless he top decked the Hazaret. But, you know. So, anything we want to do differently here? I like Sunbirds better on the play, because we're going to have a little bit more time to set it up. And the engine is still very powerful when we can get it going. Don't want to go too deep on it though, since I trimmed some of my other top end stuff. We'll just trim on like a Stomper. Stomper isn't great because it can't block Hazaret or Heart of Kirin. Then the defeats, I thought I brought in the defeats, did I not? Maybe I decided against them. I still haven't really seen enough for it because it can't deal with Hazaret. I didn't see Glorybringer. I only saw the Raptor, which I'm not too afraid of. Maybe he's playing like... What's a red Planeswalker those decks play? Maybe Chandra. Because his deck will likely want to slow down post-board, especially now that he's seen all these sweepers. He might trim on some of his cheap creatures. So Sweltering Suns is a little worse on the draw, or on the play rather. I'll try like one defeat, I guess. Even though I'm still not sold 100%. Not sure. We'll just run with this. It's also the concern that we trim too much on our top end and don't have enough to actually win the game. This hand's fine. And a nice little curve going. Turn 3 ramp, turn 4 sweep the board, turn 5 Sunbirds is the plan, assuming we find some lands in the meantime and don't get duressed. We can draw a dinosaur this turn, that'd be cool. Alright, he's gonna duress me now. Interested to see what he takes. I don't think he takes a ramp spell because we have the redundancy. Probably just takes the Hour of Devastation. Though he might decide that the Sunbird's Invocation is going to be too much of a problem. Because his color combination doesn't really... Oh, he's going to take the Gift of Paradise, okay. Interesting. Maybe he has another Duress? Nope. Sure. That surprises me a lot. Not sure why we would play it that way. So normally I'd get planes here, but we trimmed down to only one Zakama, so I'm not as concerned about finding the mana for that. However, our mana situation is working out okay here. I might just want to get a mountain to make sure that on a future turn I can double spell if I need to. If I need to like cast a sweeper and an abrade on something. We have all the green we need. We only need white for the one Zakama, and I'm sure we can find another source by the time that becomes relevant. Unless we get severely unlucky. Very curious why he would choose to play it that way. Attack for 3. We can wipe the board just to play it safe. Probably should. Even if he has a Hazaret, he can't attack with it right away. This just slows him down by quite a bit. We can drop the Sunbirds at as high a life total as possible. Follow it up with whatever we draw. Kirin's fine. Oh, here's a comma, but we drew our planes, funny enough. So let's play the Sunbird. And then start drawing some action that we can cast. Did we show him anything that would lead him to bring in something like Forsake the Worldly, maybe? That would be annoying. And a Hazaret, oh boy. Alright, we need to draw something. That's a good draw. Yeah, if this can find us a An hour of devastation, that would be just the nuts. So let's trigger the Sunbird's invocation. Sweltering Suns is fine. Hazoret's still going to be a problem though. So we're at 7 mana. We're looking for like Hour of Promise essentially is the best draw at this point. Ooh, he messed up. He was supposed to pitch a card first with Hazoret. Wasn't able to attack me. That's awkward for him. Good ol', well, hello, Hour of Devastation. Let's go ahead and cast it. Now we start just getting major value with the Sunbird's invocation. He's going to shoot me with Hazoret. He does have that Scrap Heap Scrounger, so it's not end of the world for him. Treasure Map and a Thunderherd. I like both of those, and a Cut to Ribbons, but that doesn't matter right now. It's actually an interesting question of which one I want to play. The map gives me better long-term value. The migration potentially lets me get to Zakama a turn earlier. I think I want the treasure map though. Don't know if that's correct. He's gonna get that Scrounger. End of turn, obviously. He's out of cards. So he has us on a 4-turn clock, but without anything to back it up at the moment. So I'll remember my scry this time. We drew something. Heart of Kieran, that's a good draw. Scry. Cut to Ribbons well, interesting. I think I actually have to bottom that. Because actually, Cut to Ribbons doesn't actually do anything. So you can just get back that Scrap Heap Scrounger. So let's bottom. Then I'll upkeep Scry. I'm on Hour of Promise. We have 3 left in the deck, I believe. Sheltered Thicket. I mean, we do need land, but I think we need spells more, just to try to feed the Sunbirds. Oh, another Cut to Ribbons. I'll go ahead and cast it. Maybe we cascade into an Abrade. That would be nice. So we'll still be able to cast the Sakama next turn thanks to the treasure map. Flipping. Ooh, that's interesting. We hit 2 spells, but I guess we'll cast the Thunderherd Migration. Cast additional cost 1, so I don't have to show him that I have Zakama, I guess. Get a mountain, doesn't matter. It'd be nice to get a plane so I can maybe gain more life with the Sakama, but I don't think it matters too much. So he's going to put us to 4. If he draws a creature that can crew Heart of Kieran, he can put me to 1. And then maybe the Sakama can come down and stabilize me. So just hope he bricks one more time. Drew a spell. Bomat Courier, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we are going to get to go off here. Let's see how good it ends up being for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will scry upkeep. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm going to draw. Oh, hello. It's not actually an amazing draw, but it might be good later. So let's go ahead and start the treasure map, see what's on top of my deck. Cut to Ribbons can go on the bottom. Cast Sakama, which is going to trigger my Sunbirds. and untap all my mana. See what this Sunbirds gets me. Not much, actually. Brass's Bounty's interesting, though. How much mana would that get me? 5, 6, 7, 8... and 9 lands, so that'd be 9 treasures. Huh. So I'll have 10 treasures total, and I'll untap all my mana for an additional 8. So that's 18 mana. So I can't quite kill him with the cut to ribbons, but I can gain essentially infinite life, thanks to Brass's Bounty, and just using the Zakama. So let's go ahead and grab that, I believe. Cast. So Zakama's going to come down and tap all my lands. And now, we could even draw a card with Treasure Cove immediately if we want to. 10, 11, 12, pretty sure I'm not doing the math wrong. Unfortunately, Zakama can't deal damage to players. Let's go ahead and draw a card, because why not? Just a land. Alright, now I pass the turn. He can't really get up to much funny business. I have the I can kill the Heart of Kirin with the Destroy an Artifact or Enchantment, and then if he tries to burn me out or whatever, I can just gain a bunch of life, because I have all this white mana now with all the treasures. This is fun. Just gonna crew. Let's go ahead and do this now. I guess I should tap semi-properly. Yeah, and he knows it's up. Yeah, so we got to do our thing there. Alright, let's try one more match.